Hey crafters, and this is my redux for the American Next Top Model reality check. So I just did the first one. I'm not proud of it, so this is my redux. So yeah, American Next Top Model, like many of us, especially as millennial, it's one of our favorite shows. It had that fantasy-like dream to it, and you know, it's very interesting. One of my favorite part of American Next Top Model is basically the photo shoots, and we have that more kind of dream kind of X to it. I always want to be in fashion. I always want to be a fashion designer. I don't know if I'm capable of being a model, but I'm way too old. I'm 33. And yeah, it's very shocking to see right now that the former contestants of American Next Top Model is actually sharing their grievances on what it's like on the set, which is great because it's ultimately a reality show. There's nothing real about it that actually translates to the modeling world. Now, I don't know about the modeling world, but I do know a little bit about the fashion world because I am a seamstress. So in the beginning, Tyra did like more of a thesis in a way of she wanted to have diversity and inclusion when it comes to the modeling industry. And she picked this idea to Ken Mock, which Ken Mock used to do like reality shows. I think it was like one of Diddy's Making the Band. Yeah, very controversial. So they actually picked to different networks. They all shut down until UPN actually picked it up. Now UPN is basically for like mostly for the black crowd because they don't find black media to be so taken seriously. But there are some good shows like the Parkers. We got The Game. We got, I think it was Martin. And I think One-on-One. I love One-on-One. But yeah, it actually took it up. And I'm surprised to them, like season 1 was a hit and then season 2 just explode. So it's really great to hear the diversity and inclusion. So according to Adrian Curry, the first model who hate Tyra guts, and I don't blame her. I actually don't blame her. She actually congratulated Tyra saying like, oh my God, I am so proud of her not being so very unapologetic about it. But the first season, I do see some humanity when it comes to Tyra, who actually want to do it. And I guess over time, because she's so used to the reality show, greed actually invaded her mind, and Kid Mock. The thing about Tyra, when I look at her wardrobe, it looks like she really wants to get the hell out of here. She's wearing like a trench coat, like similar to Carmen Sandiego, like I want to get the hell out of here, and her demeanor like, oh, I don't want to be here. And it's like this woman doesn't take any accountability whatsoever. But I would want to go back to the contestants. I would talk about Shandy, and then I'm talking about the black women because the black women actually really touched me more in a way. But Shandy is actually a story that needs to be telling. So Shandy, I think she's like probably 17 or 18 that actually come to the American Next Top Model, actually pushed by her boyfriend. He's like, oh yeah, you're really good at becoming a model, and she auditioned. And what's really sad is she was taking advantage in Italy. And you know, the way I see it, honestly, I know it's out of order, the way I see is that she does take advantage of. She was a young lady, she was drinking, she was blackout, and I think that, you know, the male model actually SA her, and then it's just so traumatizing. What reality TV show is that they capitalize the trauma, all of the girls, and just to make good television. And I feel bad for Shandy. It looks like when I look at her interviews, she haven't escaped from the trauma because, of course, it's been repeat. It will be there forever in perpetuity. And that's the most devastating part because Tyra made millions off of the trauma. And that's the thing that we have to understand because reality TV is definitely not reality at all. But you've got to have a good lawyer to actually read a contract because they feed off drama because Americans, we love drama, unfortunately. And, you know, you get little to nothing. And the big leagues, like the producers, get all the money from it. And no matter how bad it is, it's just evil. So I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit but I know it's really unscripted. But yeah, when it comes to the judges, you have the big three amongst Tyra. You got Miss J. I love Miss J. I didn't know that Miss J taught Tyra how to walk when she was like probably 17 years old. You got J Marion, she's very talented artist, very photographer, and then you got Nigel, who they trying to get a straight man to just loosen the girls up because, you know, he's being sexy or anything like that. So yeah, they were interviewing like, oh, I didn't know. It's like, kind of knew. Well, they kind of knew what's going on. You actually taking advantage of their trauma as well too. And I remember Jamal say, yeah, there are times that we actually literally edit or take the worst pictures from the photo, and it's an excuse to an elimination. I'm like, y'all just rigged the contest. Now, speaking of the Black models, I want to talk about Ebony, and this really made me pissed because as a sister, I get it. So she was labeled to be like the most stereotypical Black woman, but ultimately it's just that she was told to shave her head, and these white women got her hair shaved with 3 bald spots, and I'm like, scream to the moon. Like, I don't understand, especially in modeling and fashion today, like how hard it is to hire a Black stylist, a hairstylist, a makeup stylist, an artist. Like, how hard is it? Because I'm keep seeing, and look, no offense for the Black models, like they all had to shave their head or had to make it like very, very short. And short in minds, of course. But I don't get it. And then they come up with an excuse like, oh, your skin is too ashy, so you need to oil it down. And she oiled it down so much, Miss Ebony, to the point that she's losing grease on doorknobs. And she got so upset with her being bald on, she freaked out. And when she went back to the contestants, the judges, Miss Ebony, they said, oh, you know, Tyra, like, it's very hard to actually do a retouch on your photo with your skin because being so like rough and tough. And I didn't know as a kid what that means, but it's just, and as an adult right now, it's just racist. It's just like stereotypical racism. Oh, you know, Black women being so masculine and tough, and you know, we don't need no man. And it's just a way to get rid of Ebony, which in all nationality, she is a beautiful woman, and she is right now. I didn't know she's a lesbian. I mean, it doesn't matter, but it's just awful when you have the judges and the producers actually push her out like, oh, you're a lesbian. Like, that's her business. She doesn't have to talk it out. She can actually do it her own way of doing things. She can do it her own timing. So that Miss Ebony, and I feel so sorry for her. Let's talk about Danielle. Now, Danielle won. And she won. She's the one that had the open gap. I think she's absolutely cute. I remember Danielle. And, you know, she was told to close the gap because, you know, CoverGirl won't allow it, according to Tyra. And I will give Tyra some defense right here, because the reality is that there are times, and this is like, I don't know what's going on in the modeling world again, that at some times you have to close the gap because, well, that's the way it is, and that's the way it was. And on top of that, I think one of the contestants, she says she's a plus size model, and she's a size like 8. And I know people like in the comment section only, you know, like, oh, 8 is not plus size. Like, I'm a size 8. Well, in the model industry, if you over the size of 4, you are considered to be a plus size model. That is a real thing. I remember on the Devil Wears Prada, like you see like what is called like Nigel playing Stanley Tucci, and he said to Annie Hathaway, Andy, and he said like, well, a size 6 is a new size 14. I'm like, but it's true. It's true. You are considered a plus size over the size of 6. Why? Because there are other countries, especially in Europe, are a lot skinnier than us. In the United States, we're the fattest country in the world. That's the truth. Going back to Danielle, why she won, according to her, she didn't receive her winning package. She was promised to go to like other places, different like elite model agencies, and she never got it. And according to her, that Tyra's like, well, I know you never got it. I'm like, Tyra, why do you make her win in the first place? If you knew. In fact, what you should do, you should take her under her wing, under your wing.
And she never did. Like, if that's the case, because I understand now, because the model industry see these type of pictures from American Next Top Model, like, this is a load of crap. This circus act and everything going on here is just a load of crap. We're not gonna take this. We're not gonna take it with a bunch of crazy filters and everything like that. And you know, it's like, Tyra, you should take Danielle under her wing. She is absolutely beautiful. And I just felt like, I think she's the reason why she didn't, because I think Tyra is very intimidated how beautiful she is. I mean, she's a beautiful woman. So I'm gonna go to another girl named Dion, and this is one I really just raised quit, because Dion, she have a tragic past. Again, these sick producers, these sick producers literally made these girls, they hire these therapists, made these girls say, oh, what it's like when you have a trauma past, and they capitalize it. So Dion mom is a survivor of gun violence as well as an abusive relationship. The mother broke up with her boyfriend, and because the boyfriend was so butthurt and enraged, he shot her, paralyzed to the waist down permanently. And because of that, the producer took that tragedy as an inspiration of sorts and used that for Dion, why she was looked like she shot in the head in a photo shoot. And I'm like, y'all are some sick ass people. Y'all are just those deranged piece of crap. And I forgot this other girl. I'm so sorry. It's just that my head is out of the water. Another black woman. This is the one girl that she said she was called fat, and she's not. And they trying to use an excuse to make her look gluttony, and like she's like, feel like she's eating. But the reality is, according to her, I'm sorry, her name is really skippy, but she was eating a bagel. And the way these producers, these editors actually edit, it looks like she's eating 3 bagels, but the reality is she eats the very one. They're like, oh, all she cares about is food. And they need that for that Trump. So she went to another photo shoot. It's kind of like an Afro kind of centric kind of photo shoot. And one of the male is trying to like actually like touching her in a way. And she doesn't like that, of course. Relatable. And Jamal said like, oh, you're really trying to waste our time. Like, she's really telling you that, you know, he's like groaning on me. And they don't even take accountability. And it's just awful. But yeah, it's very interesting, because what we need to understand that when you sign up with these reality shows, you gotta get a good lawyer. You gotta get a good lawyer. You gotta get a good lawyer, because when I'm understanding right now, after looking at American Next Top Model, the reality check, even if you get hurt, because there are times in this show where it's so ridiculous, they gotta like do skydiving and shit. Like, it's just, sorry. They gotta do like skydiving, or you know, they get like some kind of do some bridge on water or whatever. If you get hurt, they're not liable. Even in death, they're not liable, which is so evil. It's absolutely fucking evil. It's just, I don't know. It's just like, really? Yeah, it's just that when you get into these reality shows, I don't care, it's fashion. That's another thing. Project Runway. There will be a day that you will reveal who you are. Oh yeah. You are in full control. You are in full control of these producers, these editors. You have no freedom. And they will use whatever drama as capitalism in perpetuity, which means forever. I'm very humbled. I am so sorry that Ashley enjoyed this show, because of course back then there is no political correctness. There's no Me Too movement. There's no nothing. But I am proud of these young women came out so long telling their story, how tumultuous behind the scene is, because we need to know, because we need to tell our upcoming generation, so they don't have to be traumatized, so they can be prepared of these reality shows. Tyra. I remember at a time that Tyra and Naomi Campbell, I thought Naomi Campbell was like the worst, like worse than Tyra. But I think to me it's a stalemate, because as Naomi is so physical with like a bunch of oligarchs in the past, Tyra is more of a capitalist. And yeah, she'll do anything when it comes to money. And I can tell, like, her eyes in the interview, it is so dead. There is nothing, there is black. And it's just so frustrating. Like, when she was questioned about this girl, like, she's like, oh, Shandy, well, you know, it's this and that and that. Oh, you know, Ken Ma, well, Ken, you know, that's his editorial. I don't edit what you do. She takes no accountability. It's disgusting. And now she's trying to promote her ice cream smile in Australia. I didn't even know that crap exists, but I do know that the Australians said it was complete shit. So she wants to be remembered of a nasty ass hot ice cream that nobody likes, which in translation to me, that, oh, you know, I just want to leave everything behind of Hollywood, excuse me, and I just want to have my own legacy right now. Of all the millions and millions and millions I capitalized from American Next Top Trauma model. You know, it's just disgusting, because Miss J, I didn't know Miss J had a stroke in 2022, that he couldn't walk. Well, he's walking right now, but he couldn't walk like he used to do. And he had a speech impairment. And he said, you know, Tyra did not see me face to face to this day. I'm like, wow. And speaking, and I'm so glad that it warms my heart that Miss J said, you know, I can't walk, but not yet. Not yet. It's just that spark of hope that I'm so proud of him, saying that it will be a day. And this man, I think he's in his 60s. I don't know, but he still looks fabulous, you know. So shout out to Miss J. I wish nothing but the love and respect and just God bless to you. I don't know much about Nigel. Oh yeah, and Jamal. Jamal is pretty interesting. Jamal, or in later seasons, Jamal basically got sick of the American Next Top Model. He just wanted to get out. And we told Tyra, like, oh, you know, I'm just ready to departure. And according to him, he gave like these 3 letters, like, I'm so disappointed. When he returned to later season, you can feel the strain between them. Like, you can feel Tyra snapping, like, what do you think, Jamal? Like, Tyra, like, bitch, please, you need to actually calm the hell down. And yeah, that friendship is absolutely dead. Janice Dickinson, I remember her, and I thought that she's just a bitch of being bitchy. But Janice Dickinson, you know, she's have a snarky character, but she, according to her, she was playing a Simon Cowell. She was playing a character. And it warms my heart, Annie Signor from Popcorn Planet, interview Adrian Curry, which I watched. And Adrian Curry said, like, oh, Janice Dickinson, she's really trying to protect me of going to like South Africa, not even pay me shit. I wasn't even managing well from Tyra, and actually forcing her in the most lovely and in more responsible way to get out of that management contract. And yeah, you know, she's, you know, Janice Dickinson is just a character. Overall, I think it is well put together. I wish the documentary series is longer, because like, what, it's like maybe 6 episodes, I don't know, but maybe like what, 4 to 5. It's been a long time. Yeah, so I'm gonna watch Dirty Rotten Scandal by Lisa D'Amano, because I know Lisa D'Amano is one of the former contestants, and she is very vocal for years about Tyra Banks. In fact, and during quarantine in 2020, you have Gen Zers actually watch reruns of American Next Top Model to share their grievances about it. And that actually sparked up the idea for Lisa D'Amato to make a documentary. And according to her, when she interviewed by Annie Signor in Popcorn Planet, she said like somebody in Netflix actually heard us that we're going to come in unity as a form of contestants to talk about American Next Top Model. So they actually beat us in the punch. And I would say, Lisa, I'm so glad they beat you to the punch, because it's good to be last. And Poxy had the final say. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching on E. I love fashion, I love sewing, but you know, not all glitter is gold. And I thank you for all the women came out in bravery. From the bottom of my heart, keep your head up high. I know it's hard. I know Hollywood effing sucks. This is evil. God bless. And if you like this video, please give me a like, share, and subscribe. And God bless. MixedThreads here. Out. Love you.